Hey everyone. Um, I'm so sorry it's been so long. I say this at the beginning of every single one. And I truly mean it. It has seriously been so long. But for those of you who are just new, I wanted to share obviously the same things I do every time, and that would be my GoFundMe page, which has, if you go to it, you can see like it'll mostly show like the updates and the donors and stuff. But if you go like at the very top, it'll have my story, and if you click maybe story and read more or something, it'll definitely show you my entire story from like birth until now, which is like 30 years worth of, like, it's not crazy long read, but um, from birth until now, of like pictures of, what I look like when I was born and growing up and how things have changed, as well as surgery updates. So, um, for any of you guys who have any questions on like what in the heck is this girl really doing right now, you can go there and figure it out. And the website to that is www.gofundme.com/Jennifer Hiles. That is me. Jennifer is Jennifer. Hiles is Hiles. And if you'd like to get more frequent updates on me, you can definitely feel free to add me on my Facebook page or just follow along. My Facebook is, I believe it's www.facebook.com/jennifer.m.hiles. And my name on there is Jennifer Funk Hiles. Instagram is Jennifer Hiles, and Snapchat is Jennifer Funk Hiles. So, or it might even be switched around there. So good luck figuring that out. I'll try to add it below. And thank you to all the subscribers who've been around for a while. I know some of you have been following my journey for quite some time, and I get used to seeing your names in the comments down there, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around and just supporting me. And like, it is just so nice to have all the love from everywhere. I really, really, truly appreciate it, you guys. And I did notice that there are quite a bit of new subscribers, so I welcome you guys as well. And anything you guys like, if you have any questions at all, feel free to like put them down below, because I read all of them. And there's literally nothing that I don't feel comfortable sharing. Like, I'm a pretty open person, so anything you guys want, just below. And I'll do my best at remembering to answer them. That's the tricky part right there. I like gotta catch my breath. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's definitely been so long. I'm pretty sure I haven't made a video since like the middle of August, which was right before surgery number 13. I should have made like a bunch of separate videos because so much has happened since then. Like, there was the post surgery, which was awful. Like, it was horrible. There was that, and then I've done the healing, and my teeth, which I'm gonna get to. I really hope you guys stick around towards the end of the video, because like there's so much to go through, and I know some parts are boring, but I'll try to keep it going because I got the kids downstairs. I'm just trying to hurry anyway. So please stick around. There's like so many awesome things. And I'm sure you're wondering why Randy Houska is at the cover of my video. And I don't know if you guys recognize him. I'm sure most of you do. And if you're trying to figure out where he's from, it's if you watch Teen Mom 2, Chelsea Houska, her father, Randy, is like a big part of the show. The show's been on MTV for like 8 years now. If you are like super confused on why he's at the cover of my video, you're gonna have to stay tuned, because this is like the big light at the end of the tunnel. And like I said before, I know I'm not out of the tunnel, but like just to have some light in my tunnel, I know there's bits of light everywhere, but this is like a huge happy thing for me. So please stick around to check that out. it's gonna be later. Okay, so I'll start where I left off last time. Haven't made a video since before my last surgery, which was surgery 13. So the last one, little recap of what they actually did. They went in and they pulled an additional nine more teeth. They went in and they reshaped my lip. If you can kind of see, it goes up a little bit there and then the down, which is like the Cupid's bow or whatever. And they cut my whole nostril off and then they pushed it in. So last video, well, okay, first surgery 12, they had this skin here and my AVM was growing in here, so they cut the AVM out and then they put my skin in there. So if you could tell, I kind of have this new what's it called, like a dimple or something, but that is why. But they flattened my nose out there because there was something in there from surgery 12 that they flattened in surgery 13. And they pushed this nostril way out to the side, like it was way even more. So they cut all this and they pushed it in. And this nostril used to be just kind of flat to the side of my face, but it has some like definition now, which is pretty cool. The sides definitely got hacked at. And I've been touching my nose so much that my makeup's coming off, but you can't really tell the true color, but you can see the true color in my nose. Like, obviously this stuff's really pink. I'm just wearing makeup right now. But yeah, this side, like, did not heal very well. It's like really jaggedy and and this side, my scars just keep growing, like, what's it called, keloid or whatever. But anyway, talking about what they did. So they did the lip, they did the nose, they pulled 9 teeth. I had stitches all the way down again, and of course the injections and the laser surgery to like try to lessen the scars. But another big thing that I wasn't expecting, and I didn't know why they did it for like almost a week, but I woke up and I had this, I want to say it was yellow, like this yellow, I don't know what kind of stuff it was, like a gauze kind of thing maybe. I can't remember what it's called either. But they had it sewn on this patch right here, if you could tell this patch. Like before the surgery, I had a deep scar that went down, but they removed all of that right here. And now there's this. Oh, and before, check out my profile, guys. Hold on. Holy buckets. I'm going crazy. I don't know if you could tell, my nose goes in and then down. Can you see it? Am I at the right angle? Can you see it? Before it used to be like a slope, like it just sloped into my nose because the AVM was growing in my nostril. But they went in and they cut that slope of AVM out and they pushed this all the way back and they pinned it in. So when they did that, it left a hole right here. And they had to fill that hole, so they used they did a skin graft, and they took the skin from just like right here. And then they pulled the scar back, so I noticed the scar is like more far back, obviously, because they took skin right here and pulled my skin back. So this skin is from over here. So that was a big thing. So my nose definitely is shaping into what it is supposed to be or whatever. A lot of changes in my nose, and it's so itchy over here, like I could cry about it all day. Oh, I would pay someone if you want to like just hang out with me and do this to my nose, and then sometimes on this side, and then if you just like touch my cheek. I know it sounds really creepy, but it feels so good. I know that like itching or whatever is a good sign of healing, so yay, I'm healing, but it's so annoying. I guess I'd be sad if it didn't heal, right? So that's what they did. And after surgery, I woke up in the recovery room. Apparently, I woke up like hours and hours before I even knew I was awake. But I was in so much pain. Apparently, they kept giving me like as much fentanyl and like Dilaudid, I think it's called, just as much painkillers as they possibly could, and it like wasn't playing any effect on me, and I was so mad. Like apparently I just freaked out on all of the staff, like the nice sweet nurses that were doing everything in their power to make me comfortable. I was just so mad at everybody that I guess I was just freaking out. And I feel really bad, but I have no idea what the hell I said or what I did. And I'm sorry if you guys watch this. I know you guys are like the best nurses ever, and I'm sorry I yelled at you. But Dustin said that I um, was just in a lot of pain, and they knew that. And I don't think that they took it personally. And he said they were really patient and understanding, and that they still stayed by my side and helped me, and they were really kind. So thank you to the Lenox Hill nurses. I'm sure you guys go through a lot um, for understanding. But I think I might have even kind of like asked like some of my doctors to come, and I was kind of pissy with them, so I feel bad for that. But hopefully they understand that I was just on like a ton of drugs and had no idea what was going on. But when I did come to, I did notice like it felt like someone was breaking my jaw into little pieces, and my nose hurt like hell because I'm pretty sure they pulled these whole, these were just disconnected and they had to reconnect them. So it's like, why does my nose hurt? And my mouth hurts so bad. I just remember crying and being so angry because it hurt so bad. And I didn't understand why they did this skin graft. And at the time, I just thought they removed the scar that went from here to here. But in my drugged mind, I was like, why would they do that? Like, I scar like crazy. And I felt like I was going to have two scars coming like down that were really thick instead of one. So I guess my drugged self was really mad about that. But later I found out that that's not why they did that at all. It was because they had to pull my nose up, and remember there was a whole thing there or whatever. So there was that, and I did not get out of there until the emergency or that the recovery room closed like at nighttime, and they were debating on keeping me there overnight because they could not get my pain under control. But I know that normally I don't stay there, and I didn't know what the cost and everything would be, so I just told them that I was fine and I wanted to go home. And I don't think that they believed me, but they they let me go home. And I don't know. I know that we were staying in Brooklyn at that time. Really beautiful place in Brooklyn. Um, but obviously my doctor and the hospital is in Manhattan, which is just like right across the river. But we had to take a taxi because obviously my butt after surgery is not getting on the subway. So we took a taxi, and it was like hell, basically. I hate that when the taxi drivers pick up somebody from the hospital that obviously just got their face all hacked up and stitches and bloody, and they drive like hell. Like literally, it's like break, go, whipping corners. I was like, is this guy for real right now? I was so mad. Like, I feel like if I were to pick up somebody at a hospital, I would drive nice and be like respectful, I guess. I don't know, but whatever. So that's another reason why I like to stay in Manhattan. Just a lot less of a pain in the butt to get home and less painful to get home. Um, da, da, da. Yeah, at the apartment that we had, I had a big old king size bed, and it was so comfortable, best bed I've ever slept in my life. And luckily we had a big old apartment, and it was off Airbnb. So the family who left for in order for us to come there also had children about our same age, and they had all kinds of cool toys that my kids just loved. And they were totally cool with being inside. It wasn't like we were trapped in some little one room hotel, you know, like we had a whole apartment to ourselves. Thank God, because like I was in so much pain, and it was like nothing that I've ever experienced before. Um, the next day, I just remember like waking up and I was screaming and kicking and crying. I was mad. I was pissed because it hurt so bad. Um, there was literally nothing that would stop it, and there was so much pressure in my head. It felt like my head was gonna explode, and I didn't know if that was like normal or not normal, but it was like literally unbearable. And I woke up Dustin, obviously, and asked him to go to the store and get me Tylenol, and I ate that whole bottle of like extra strength Tylenol within a couple days because my headache would not go away. Like, it really sucked. But that morning, I literally don't remember like falling back to sleep. I took a lot of painkillers and a lot of Tylenol, and I'm pretty sure I kicked and screamed and cried myself back to sleep because I don't remember falling asleep, and I don't know. It was bad. Like, and I remember like normally I try to stay strong for like my husband and my children because I know they don't like to see me in pain or whatever, but at that time it was just so much that I didn't even care. Like, that thought, I guess, didn't even phase me. I couldn't control it at all. Um, Normally, also after surgery, I like update like my Facebook, just like even right after surgery. Like, if you're on Facebook, you know that I usually come home and I'm all drugged and looked horrible. And I'm like, hey, I made it. Everything went good. Thank God. But that was literally the farthest thing from my mind. I didn't even think about Facebook nor care. It was a lot. And I like to do that as well, just to tell my family at home, like, not to worry and I'm okay, and like let them see me smile so they can rest easy. Because I can't imagine having my daughter or sister or whatever friend like be so far away and go through surgery and have to just sit there and wait for an update. So I feel like I'd feel better if I saw them be like, "Hey, it's okay, stop worrying now." But like I said, that wasn't even in my mind at all. Um, and normally also the very next day or the next day or the day after, I usually don't take that long to recover. Like, I get bored laying there, and I'm like pushing myself to get up and move, but that wasn't the case either. Like, I literally laid in bed for 5 days straight, which I've never ever done before. Um, I did get up to shower a couple times. The first time was like, I don't know if it was the day after surgery or the day after that, but I don't know if any of you guys go through surgeries a lot, but I feel like it's the anesthesia, but after surgery you just have this like weird, gross hospital smell to you. Like, I freaking hate it more than anything in the whole world. It's gross. And like, your hair's all nasty because they're operating on my head. There's like that one stuff. My brain don't work. My brain literally is so slow from all these surgeries. Like, it is ridiculous. I forget the easiest stuff. I know it's from anesthesia. It has to be. But yeah, my hair, it's just all gross. So Destin helped me take a shower, or I sat in the bath and he like washed my hair and helped me do stuff. So the next day or day after that. But I remember the day after that again, everybody was sleeping, and like maybe my hair didn't get washed good enough, or it like a lot of oils or stuff was coming out of me from surgery, and I just felt so gross again that I remember I tried to give myself a shower, and it took so much out of me. I literally thought I was gonna die in there. I was like so dizzy and freaking out. All my energy just left my body at once, and it was really scary. So I'm gonna remember not to do that again. But yeah, the headache lingered for like almost though it stayed for quite a while actually. I'm not quite sure why. Um, from all my teeth being pulled out, not all of them, um, most of my teeth being pulled out, my mouth was so swollen. Like, they would make me eat applesauce before I left the hospital, and it was so almost damn near impossible to get it in my mouth because everything was just like swollen shut bad. And like my lip was all sewn up, so it's like my lip is big, mouth is big. Like, it was so annoying. Like, I had no appetite and I was so sick. Like, literally sick to my stomach for days that I didn't really eat. And I couldn't eat if I wanted to. Um, and something that kept going through my mind was that I had to have more surgeries, and my brain just would not stop thinking about the smell and the taste that you get when they give you the anesthesia right before you're about ready to, have surgery or pass out, whatever you call it. Um, I don't know why. My brain just literally kept going to that, and I could taste it and like smell it or something, and I wanted to puke every time. Like, but I was so terrified to puke when I had so many stitches in my mouth and it was swollen in my mouth. So I don't know. And then the antibiotics that they gave me also, I don't know what was upsetting my stomach, but I didn't want to take a chance on those. So I stopped taking those early, which was probably a dumb idea because I know that that comes with risk too. But I was just so afraid of getting sick. Um, yeah, I was so hungry at the end of like, I think by Friday. I was so hungry that I thought I could try some tofu, and I went all the way to Manhattan to get it because I thought it would be soft, and that didn't work. Um, I was really sad about it because I wanted to eat. I think I ended up eating like mashed potatoes and maybe like a bite of macaroni or something. But I was so hungry. And then a couple of days after that, I was like, I know what I could eat. I could eat pancakes. So we went and found an IHOP in Brooklyn, and I ate pancakes. I ate pretty good that day. Um, and then I also updated everybody else and let them know it was good. It was just a really hard time. It was such a hard time, in fact, that when I was recovering, like the day, days 2, 3, 4, hardest days literally of my whole life. Um, Even when I had the big surgery and they removed my nose and most of my face and just rearranged it all, um, in May of like 2016, the biggest surgery that I've had, um, that didn't even compare to it. Like, obviously that was painful, but for some reason, like this one was way, way worse. And I still can't understand why that is, but it sucked. Like, I literally swore that I quit. I was like, I'm so done with all of this. I quit. I'm done. I can't take it anymore. It's too much pain. Like, I can't do it. I didn't care what else was left. I didn't care how far I came, what else was left. The thought of going through one more surgery and having to be put to sleep and wake up and feel that pain again was way too much for my mind to handle. I was like, I don't care what I look like or what I have left to do or what happens with my AVM. I was like, I am done. Like, I cannot handle it. And I told everyone, I was like, I can't. I know, at the time, I was really freaking out. I always kind of freak out about, I was like, I'm just over worrying about how I'm going to be able to keep paying for all of this and where that money's going to come from. And just that was a big thing. But mostly, I guess it was just the pain. But I was telling everyone, I'm like, this is just altogether way too much for me to handle. I was like, I just got to like my limit and I thought I reached it. And I told everyone I was done and I quit, and that's the last surgery that I was going to have. And lucky enough, I didn't tell my doctor that. Um, it was not fun. 1 week later, I guess, when I started feeling a bit better, I retracted my statements of quitting. Um, I feel like every surgery I have gets harder and harder, and it is a lot to deal with. Like the last two, like number 12, I obviously felt a lot of pain after that one, and I didn't even feel like that big of a surgery, really, so it was crazy to me. And then number 13 was just like excruciating. I hope to God that, like, I don't know, is that what every surgery is supposed to feel like? Because obviously they all hurt, but I feel like I can handle them good. But lately it's just like I'm not handling them good. And I guess I just have to try to keep that part in the back of my head, um, not in the front of my head. Like, obviously, I know that that's a thing, but try not to focus on it and be happy of what comes out of the surgeries and not just focus on the couple days that, you know, that's going to be rough, because I know that those days will pass, even though in the moment I felt like they were going to last forever. Like, I literally felt like there was going to be no ending to that pain because it was so bad. But I know that it will. But in the moment, it's really hard. Anyway, after that, yeah, we were supposed to leave on September 4th, and my kids had school. They started on September 5th. And so, me trying to squeeze everything into one little schedule, I was trying to leave on the 4th and get my kids back to school on the 5th. But then, since this skin graft thing came out of nowhere, we had to stay a little bit longer and make sure that it lived and get the stitches out and stuff, and it had this like cover over it. So I didn't know what to expect under there. I didn't know if it was like, some of them look really fishnetty or something, like they put little holes in the skin. So I was like, ooh, I hope that that's not the case, because I hate little holes. Little holes creep me out. But I really didn't know what to expect. And when she told me that, I really freaked out, because I don't know, my kids started school on September 5th, and I did not want them to start late. I thought that everybody else had already have made their friends and knew where their classroom was and knew where the lunchroom was and knew all this stuff, and I didn't want my kids to get behind and feel left out, or like, I don't know. I was really sad. When she told me that, I got kind of frustrated and I just cried, because I just was thinking about my children. But obviously, we had to do what we had to do, and I was freaking out about money too, because I had to go and get another, $1,500 worth of motels. And we stayed at the hotel, and that was like one room altogether. Like, you literally watch each other go to the bathroom and take a shower, but there's a little curtain in between. But there was like no room in there, but it was okay because I was able to like walk around and stuff, and it was right outside Times Square, so we definitely did not spend the whole day in there. But I'm thankful that we weren't in there the whole time, because I can't imagine my children being in a little hotel like that for 5 days when I am healing. So I'm just grateful that since we did have to do it, it was later on when I was feeling a bit better. We stayed there from the 4th to the 8th. And then I had to, redo our airplane tickets, which was like $1,000 more. Hopefully I get that back. And yeah, Justin had to figure out his work schedule for the coffee shop. But we stayed longer. We made it work, and I had to go get my thing removed from the skin graft. I was so so nervous. I don't know if you guys remember when I had my, tissue expanders, and then with the big surgery in May, they went and rotated them and rotated this to my nose. Oh yeah, which I just found out I have a really hairy spot in my face. Can you see that? I just noticed it yesterday. It's not a shave here and here. Off track. Oh yeah, But the skin rotation and this skin flap died. And so me just worrying about like what was under here. And as you can see, it's just like a tall rectangle. Um, I was so nervous just to see what was under there. And I'm like, what if it's dead and they pull it off and it's just completely black? Like, that would suck so bad. And then I was thinking I'd look like Hitler. And I'm like, please, God, don't let me look like Hitler. That would suck. But either way, like, that was just something I said. I just didn't. I was worried that I wouldn't be healthy, and then it's like, what would we do from there? Like, would I have to stay longer? Like, there's just always all these questions. But luckily we went in to take it off, and when I saw Danielle's face when she got it off, it looked like a face of like happiness and relieved, and I was like, oh, thank God, like, thank God it's healthy, you know. And then I asked to see what it looked like, and she gave me the mirror, and I honestly, at first glance, I was not impressed, like, at all. The skin, as you can see, it's like, you know, mending to the skin around it, but it just looked like a square of skin that was just set there. Like, didn't seem really pulled to the sides or anything, and I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, it looks great. Don't you think it looks great? I'm like, yeah. But really, I was like, oh my gosh, it looks horrible. But I was so embarrassed by it, and it was like kind of pink as well. It had like little like weird texture to it, and we went to leave, and I was just so embarrassed by it that I wanted it covered, and I kept it covered for quite a while, honestly. And like a couple of days, maybe 3 days after that, I took it off and really looked at it, and I noticed that it was like mending to the other parts of my skin, which made me happy. I was like, okay, that's starting to look better. And then after a while, a big old scab like came off of it, and it looked like healthy skin underneath. So that was a relief as well. And again, for like a couple weeks, I kept that covered because I was really, really, really embarrassed by it. Honestly, I just thought it looked weird. And then one day, I was just like, why am I doing this? That's dumb. You know, like, what if, you know, they couldn't fix that hole in my lip and I just have this big gaping hole here? Like, thank God that didn't happen. And then they put this new skin over because technology's rad, and, you know, that could have died, but it didn't, and it's like healthy and everything went good. And I'm like, that, you know, if this doesn't make me, it might look a little different, but I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You always gotta do what you gotta do. And I mean, it went as good as it could go, so I'm happy. And I know over time it'll all kind of mend together. So, time. Time will heal it all. Time will heal it all. Sometimes it's still wear something over it, but that's like if I'm going to be outside for a while and I want to protect it from the sun because it's brand stinking new. Blah, blah, blah. And I healed really good as usual. Oh yeah, the great part now. It only took 13 surgeries to get here. Only. Okay. So, I want to say since like June. So, however many months that is, like 3 or 4 months, two, 3 months. Um, I was talking to this guy on Instagram, and I just thought his name was so funny. It was Papa Randalicious. Papa Randalicious. And he just kind of messaged me one day saying he just found out about my story, which is a really common thing. Like, people always message me and say that, and I just think it's super nice to see all the different people that it reaches. And I kind of told him thank you, and he told me he was a dentist, and he was just curious about like what had to be done and what were the risks. Do you hear the whistling? What were the risks, and where it was going to be done, and I didn't really know all the answers at that point because they just give them to me as it comes. So I just kind of filled them in with what I knew. and he told me that he was a dentist and that he felt like basically like I've been through a lot and that I could use a break. And I just thought that was really nice of him. And um, I guess throughout my life, like I've seen different dentists, but normally they push me away because they're really afraid of the inside of my mouth, which I don't blame them because it used to bleed like hell. But if they weren't afraid of me, they were like too cocky and wanted to rip all my teeth out, which would have killed me. So I didn't really have good experiences with dentists my entire life, and because of that, and because of how easily my teeth bled, whether I barely touched or bumped them, or if I didn't do anything at all, they would bleed like crazy. So obviously, like my oral hygiene wasn't the greatest because like some days were really bad, and I didn't even want to touch anything in there. So I like would just leave, not brush sometimes, and my teeth got bad, and because of the AVM, like my bone up here is just lost, and so that really played a difference on my teeth as well. But dentists have never been a fun experience for me, nor really a positive one. And to have somebody who felt like, um, to me, it felt like he actually cared and wanted to, you know, he really answered my questions, even though when I couldn't ask like a different dentist that I was already seeing, if I had questions, I'd ask him and he'd always do his best to answer them back or like help me understand. And I thought that was awesome, like super awesome. It just made me feel really comfortable with him, like he really knew what he was doing and that he really cared, which is like a huge thing for me. Because I know, like, even if there was the best doctor in the world or dentist or whatever, I feel like if they don't have good people skills or they're not nice, like, I'm just not gonna care for them. I'm really big into like friendly, nice people, I guess, and he was one of them. So anyway, we just kind of talked about that off and on, and then I saw the dentist in New York who pulled my teeth for like $3,500 to get my teeth pulled. And I asked him like what was next or what to do from there, and he was like, "Well, I don't think you can afford getting your teeth done here, so you should go back home and do it." And I was a bit worried because I didn't know what to expect even getting my teeth pulled out, because to me, like, getting my teeth pulled out has always equaled death. Because when I was little, Dr. Weiner told me, if you have, get a bump to your mouth or get hit or um, have a tooth fall out or get it pulled, like you would most likely essentially bleed to death because your AVM runs in your gum line. So that was just always terrifying for me. So first of all, to even think about the teeth getting pulled out was really, really scary. And secondly, I just didn't see it being possible and didn't know what to expect after they were pulled out. Like, would it heal good? Like, I didn't know anything. It's just hard. It felt like a fairy tale that was like way too good to be true in the first place for the teeth to come out. So when I thought about teeth after that, I didn't think a whole lot about it. I was just kind of scared about the teeth in general. But I asked him what was next. He told me to go home and figure it out, and I was like, okay, because I was really nervous about that as well. And immediately I tried to call the dentist here in town, and they said they were remodeling and didn't know when they'd be back, and I was like panicked because I have to go to, well, I knew a month later from that time I had to be like in Hollywood and in front of a bit of people, and I did not want to go there without teeth. And so I just kind of panicked, and I was like, hey, Papa Randalicious. So I wrote him on Instagram and kind of told him what was going on. And like he told me what he thought I needed, which was like a flipper, which is kind of like a retainer with teeth on it, in order to um, let my gums heal, because I just had like a major thing getting them pulled out. And told me that if I wanted to make the trip up to Vermilion, South Dakota, that he would be more than happy to um, help me out. And I was like, well, that is so cool. Like, this guy actually wants to help me, you know, like he actually like listens to me and he's nice and he wants to help. Like that alone made me feel so happy. And anyway, I was really, really, really happy about that. And my mind went so blank just now because I don't know, it was just so awesome. So yeah, he told me that I could go to Vermilion, and I was like thinking, I don't even know a damn thing about this guy. I've just been talking to him for a while. I don't even know what his dentist place is called, so I wanted to kind of look it up and honestly just look at the reviews and stuff to make sure like he was legit. And so I was like thinking, maybe if I go to his Instagram page, he'll have like something about his dentist office there. And then I clicked on his page and I was like, holy crap. Like, Papa Randalicious is Randy Houska. I always don't know if I'm saying his last name right. Houska. Houska. Reminds me of Husker Do's and Husker Don'ts. Husker Do's, Husker Don'ts. But yeah, this totally, if you don't know who that is, if you've ever watched Teen Mom 2, I don't know how many of you guys watch that, but I've totally watched that. Teen Mom 2, it's on MTV, and it's been on for like the past, I want to say 8 years. 8 seasons now. Falling around like 4 girls. I think it's 5 now. I don't know why it's 5 or why they added another girl, but they did. But one of the girls on there is Chelsea, and her dad, Randy, obviously is like on the show quite a bit. And I guess when I first got pregnant, obviously I was kind of young then myself. I'm not 16 or anything, but I was still kind of young, and we were still kind of learning and growing, and Dustin was definitely still learning as well. And it was a hard time going through my pregnancy. And Teen Mom and Lit 16 and Pregnant show came on, and I could definitely relate to some of the girls, not all of them. And so I started watching that, and I always just admired like Randy and Chelsea's relationship. He seems like a really, really good dad and just a good person in general. And it's definitely one of the reasons I like the show so much. But for a few years there, when I had cable, um, I would watch that show. So I was definitely, yeah, familiar with who he was. Hi.
Kaya needs the car keys so she can get her spelling words.
They're in my purse right there. Is Dad home yet?
He is home.
Cool. How'd you sneak up the stairs? I didn't even hear you.
Because I opened the door really slowly and I walked around the side of the steps holding onto the railing.
Ninja. I didn't even know you could do that. 1 second. You see him? You can just grab my whole purse out there if you'd like. Okay. Will you shut the door and go out, please? Please, Bruce. Thank you. Love you. Anyway, so I definitely recognized him. Didn't know him, but I knew him from the show. And then I was like, just mind blown. I'm like, well, what a freaking small world this is. And I felt really stupid for not going to his page earlier and like stalking him until the very last minute. But that's what happened. And I don't know. That was just really, really cool. And when we got back here, I obviously made an appointment for the soonest I could to go up and see him. Um, and when I did, he was really kind, really nice, just like I thought he would be, or I hoped he would be. Um, him and his staff, it's Houska Dental in Vermillion, South Dakota, and him and his staff were like the kindest people, like the best office I've probably ever been to. They were all so nice, and I don't know, I just felt like right at home, and I didn't feel like a burden or that the dentist office didn't want me there or anything like that, like I normally kind of feel, and it was awesome. Like he had me put that stuff in my mouth and like bite down, and it was to get like the impressions or molds or whatever the heck they're called in my teeth, and it just felt all so like surreal. Like it didn't feel like real life. It felt like a fairy tale was coming true, but I was like daydreaming, and I'm like, is this really freaking happening right now? It was insane. Like I lost my first tooth. I want to say like 6 years ago. My front tooth went first. Oh no, sorry. My side tooth went, and the one beside it, and then like I just always had this big gap in my like obviously before surgeries my lip wasn't so swollen, and so you could tell, and also like the teeth around that were turning black because they were like rotten, which is so embarrassing. And like my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world is smile. I don't know if you noticed, but I like to smile. And I was like forced to kind of, hide my mouth all the time or do this, or every one of my pictures is definitely past that. Like my mouth was closed, and it really did take a blow to like my confidence. And like I remember being around certain people, and maybe I did such a good job at hiding my teeth that they didn't know I had such jacked up teeth, and they would always like bad talk other people about their teeth, and I was just like, people actually do this? Like people are so judgmental. Like they have no idea what or why the other person, you know, why they are the way they are, what they're going through. I hate when people do that. But they do, and I heard it, and I don't know, I felt like it made me feel more self-conscious about it and like uncomfortable. But it's just embarrassing. Like your teeth really do make a big difference in like the way you look, and if you're gonna be hiding your smile and covering your mouth all the time, like obviously it's gonna make a difference. So, and like to like when that started happening, like the doctor telling me that I could never get any teeth pulled or whatever, like that was so strongly stuck in my head that I literally never thought that I would be able to get those teeth fixed or pulled out, because them being pulled out literally, like I said, like equaled death in my mind. So just to have all of them pulled and have it go well, like it literally took 3 embolisms and I think 3 surgeries getting the teeth out in order to make it happen, and 13 surgeries altogether. And then I finally got all my teeth out, and I was finally in this dentist office that like wanted me there, and we were working on the smile, and it just felt so not real. I'm just like, is this real life? Because my mom came with me for all of it. Um, and it was just so cool. I was so excited. So we went and we got those things made, and then he would text me and kind of show me like what came of it, like the molds of it. And I was like, whoa, it's just weird because my lip has been so much swollen since the last surgery that I can't really see inside my mouth. Um, so to see like what teeth I had in my mouth, I was just like, that's horrible because there's barely any in there. And It was just really interesting. We went up there again, and the second time, on the second time, I had to drive there again because like his office is like 3 hours away from me. But the second time I had to go there, it wasn't that I wasn't excited to go to the dentist office because I definitely was, but I hate driving by myself, and I was not looking forward to the drive because I get anxiety and I'm crazy and I don't feel like I'm the best driver, so I just was not happy about it. But right when I left town, Randy messaged me a picture of the teeth that he wanted me to try in to see if they fit, and I literally never felt so happy about anything in my whole life. It was literally like the biggest dream come true because I thought I was gonna have to live the rest of my life with this like broken smile. Like I knew I smiled all the time, so I still had a smile, but it wasn't like a confident smile or one that I was definitely proud of. And I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I obviously didn't think the teeth were gonna look horrible, but it just never seemed real the whole time. So when I saw them, they were so perfect. And I couldn't believe that they were mine. I'm pretty sure I just kept glancing at them the whole way to Sioux Falls and like crying. Like I just kept thinking about how I've been through so much and that it was so hard. And even like the last surgery, I just wanted to give up so bad because I didn't feel like I could handle it, but I'm glad I didn't give up or I wouldn't have got here. And like that just went to show me that I know, like I've already known this, but things can get hard sometimes. And I know that things are probably gonna get hard again. But if I just keep pushing through, like, there's always gonna be some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, even if it gets dark again. Like, that part just made me so happy and so grateful for everything. And I'm so happy that he was the person to make this all happen for me because, like, he's just such a nice person, and I feel so comfortable with it, and that means a whole lot. And he did that all out of the kindness of his heart, which means everything. There's so many good people. They're everywhere. We got there and I literally tried, like, we got there and I was so happy. My mom was so happy with me. We had Matthew with you. Or did we have Matthew that time? No, Matthew wasn't with that time. The first time we went, we had hitchhikers with. That was funny. The second time, it was just me and my mom. I'm so happy to try him on. And at first, it just felt like such a mouthful. I'm like, how in the hell am I going to talk with these on? But it was like a full plate on top, so I couldn't feel the roof of my mouth at all. And it was really far down, and I was nervous that it was going to be, not great when I got them back. But that was just to try on the teeth to make sure the teeth were like at the right spot and fit me well, which they did. But I was still nervous. I'm just like, when I get this back, is it even gonna fit right? Is the top gonna be annoying? Am I gonna be able to talk? Like, there's so many questions. But like that day made it so real, and I was like, it was such a happy day. So I tried them on. I want to say that was on a Thursday, and they fit. So he had to send them back to Mitchell, who also, thank you, did a great job at putting them together. And then they sent them back to him in Vermilion, and I had to be back there on the Tuesday, which I was so stoked for. Um, the whole drive up there, I just kept thinking in my mind over and over again, like, is this real life? Is this really happening? Like, yeah, this is happening. It was crazy. My mom was just as excited as I was, so that was cool. We got there and they had them, and the ladies were happy for me, and my mom was happy. It was just a happy, joyous moment. Um, gross, sorry. And I got them and I tried them on, and it was weird. I felt like a mouthful, and I'm like, oh my gosh. At first, I felt like I talked a little weird, and I felt like I got used to them really fast. And hold on 1 second. I bet you guys wish I could edit videos right now, don't you? Okay. I'm so open about things. Everyone's probably like, shut up. You're ridiculous. But, okay. So, I got done with surgery, and this is literally what my mouth looks like. I can show you the other things too if I can grab my phone. Like, I literally have my front teeth. I have one chewing tooth. None back there. Hold on. My lips really like sore, so wish me luck on this. Randy did a good job of pulling it through, but I don't know if I can. But this is like what I'm left with after um, my last surgery. Got two teeth on that side. One, two. This is the most I ever pulled it up. Randy did it, so I know I can do it. Can you see how far this goes up? How, like, my bone is just gone right there. You can see where the AVM is. AVM is because it's so red. And then before I saw the dentist, and then the dentist here as well, only wanted the two teeth back here left, and for some reason he left these two, but I guess it's like a good thing because the more teeth I have in, the better it is for the flipper. But so 1, 2, and then 1, 2. I should brush my teeth right before this. I swear I brushed them. I just ate them. Yeah, so 2 and 2. and two over here, and also this one right here was like all black and yellow and brown. It was so gross. But oh yeah, Randy went in and he am I supposed to call him Dennis Houska or Dr. Houska? Dr. Houska went in and he like, what do you call it? Chiseled. He chiseled away, I don't know how the word is, all that bro stuff, and it like looks great now. And another thing I thought was crazy was it's not that I've never went to the dentist before. I went a long time ago, and they pulled this root out, and they gave me so much. I want to say it's called like Novocaine or the numbing stuff that I couldn't feel my face for like a whole day. And they gave Dustin, my husband, so much Novocaine that he can't feel his tongue for like a year and a half. Maybe that's different, but that's still horrible. I think it's maybe kind of common though from getting this stuff like that. But normally I wasn't expecting to get my cavities filled when I went there, and then one of the ladies said that I was going, and I was like, I don't think so, but I guess if he wants to, like, I'll do whatever he wants. And when we got back there, he was like, yeah, I want you to get some cavities filled, and I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm down for whatever. I was just a little bit worried about having like a fully numb mouth for the rest of the day, because I wanted to talk with my husband. But he injected them with the pain medication, and like he left for a minute to check on his other patient, and then he came back, and he was like, okay, so numb, and like normally I'm like talking ridiculous and drooling on myself, but I didn't even notice it was numb until I like felt something, and I was like, oh, well, I guess it's numb. And so I let him go forward. He's like, you want any pain? Of course, just let me know and I'll, make it better. And he did such a good job. Like, it was so fast, and he got both of them done. And, no pain at all. It scared me when I stuck my tongue up in the sucker, though. That was not bad. And, at the end, like, I didn't even notice the numbness. Like, maybe he knows how to use, like, the most special amount. But I thought it was great, because I wasn't drooling on myself and, like, slobbering and not knowing how to eat or talk or whatever. But, after that, he put this thing back in my mouth, and it was so awesome. Like, these little hook things, we had to adjust those for a while. And, like, one time I felt like it was going to rip my teeth out because it was so tight. But luckily, it's not like that anymore. And, I was going to say, lost it. But anyway, this is what he gave me. And, like, he did this out of, like, his heart's awesomeness. Like, he just felt like, I don't know, he wanted to give back to somebody. And I'm so grateful that he chose me, because literally, I know on my GoFundMe page it seems like I'm like, rolling in the dough or whatever for surgery money, but it is so expensive to go to and from New York all the time. Travel, hotels, and then a couple of the surgeries were kind of spending. Like that, those killed me. And staying there for 4 months, like it was. I don't know how I'm gonna keep making it work. I'm just like praying that it keeps working. But I honestly thought that when I came here, if like I didn't know if Medicaid would cover everything, and in my mind, like the whole time, I was just thinking when I have to go back to South Dakota and get this all figured out, that like I'm gonna be broke, and like how am I gonna keep coming back here? Like what if my ABM goes, or what if where to go? So I was really nervous about all that. So I'm really thankful that he did that for me. Like, oh man, so grateful. Like seriously, Randy Houska, you are the bomb. I love you so much. Um, oh yeah. He was telling me before, like obviously it's gonna be a little bit to get used to, which I know, and that's cool. And he was like, it might be a little bit to get used to getting talk or learning to talk with him, and But he was like, you've been through whatever. I think you can handle it. And I was like, yeah, I guess. I did get most of my teeth ripped out, and I learned how to talk like this pretty well. And I was telling him how even with the B, I'm gonna say B now. When I try, it's hard. Like every. Even with V words, I like substitute it with the B because it sounds the same. Like I just learned how to talk or like make words work because I don't know. But obvious. Oh, and this thing, my lip is so freaking fat. Um, I want lipo so bad done on this lip, so bad because okay, again, this is like that. Okay, like that on this side. This is like that. That is a big difference. It's like, you know, it is so fat over here, and like it's pushing in to like even further where my teeth are supposed to be, so I can kind of use that as like pretending like they're my teeth in a kind of way. So I guess in a way I was kind of lucky for that because it helped me talk better, and my lips so fat that you can like dramatically tell that I have a bunch of teeth missing. Definitely right here though. But anyway, yeah, I learned how to talk with no teeth, so I'm pretty sure I can learn to talk with these. But again, this is what I got. Look at those babies. It doesn't focus very good. But aren't they perfect? Even my actual teeth never look that damn good. Like they're pretty. And you can see, remember how I showed you that goes way up? It's so like receded. I have a receded gum line. It's funny. See how far it goes out. So, oh weird. I just noticed it's the opposite side. That doesn't even make any sense, does it? I thought this big side was gonna be on this side since it goes up far there. Turns out, once again, I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But there's this side. It's got this hooks around. This hook hooks around this tooth, and then obviously this little baby one fits right in there. Hey, there's the yuck right there. Oh, that's cavity. And then this one, it's on this tooth. Holy crap, that's good. It's on that one. And thank God that he fixed that because or else I could just feel like this would really cut into it and damage that tooth more. So the teeth that I have are really, 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 really important because without them I would have to get like a full denture and oh my gosh, I would hate that. It just sounds like such a pain in the ass. Like I hope to God I never have to use denture glue. I just really love how this just pops in and the little hooks just kind of slide into place. It is so great. And the top isn't even like a full thing. I like that it's like a horseshoe so I can still feel the roof of my mouth. I have no pain on my gums, like at all. Like these don't really push into them. Like at first, the first couple of days, obviously maybe I was getting used to them. So when I took them off, like okay, throughout the day, I was like, hey, I can't even feel them. It feels so great. I don't even think they're touching my gums. But they are a little bit. And the only reason I could tell that is because when I took them off at the end of the day, they felt so like tender. And I was honestly a little bit worried about that. And I didn't know how my ABM would like react to that or anything like that. So, but like recently, I'm getting really used to them. And he just asked me the other day if anything was bothering me, and I'm pretty sure, like, sometimes I feel like a little bit of this part way back here, and sometimes I feel like a little bit of tension from this hook, but like, I don't know. All day today I didn't notice it, so maybe in time, like, maybe it's just me getting used to them, but if not, he said I'm more than welcome to come in there and he can get them fixed up, which is just really nice that he offers, and I don't feel like a burden or anything. Big deal to me. Again, this is just like a flipper denture. Um, it's kind of like a retainer, obviously. Um, he wanted me to get this one so that I can feel comfortable and have teeth. And um, so when I go to Hollywood, like I'm leaving my town here tomorrow to go there, so I can go out on the stage and like not have to go there essentially looking worse than I did a year ago and feel like I made a big accomplishment, which this is like the biggest accomplishment ever. Like, I'm so proud of this thing. I don't even care who knows I have fake teeth. I'm not ashamed. I'm not, like, I'm so proud of them. I really am. But he wanted me to have this so that my gums could heal, and it is like a little bulky, I guess, because it does not touch the roof of my mouth. Like, one thing that's really gross about this is that there's a little gap, like right up here. So when it's in my mouth, it's at the roof of my mouth, right? There was a gap there, and this is gonna be gross. All day that day, I was trying to eat with them. The first day I ate with them, it was so complicated. Like, I hated eating with them. I thought it was way harder than eating with my couple teeth that I have right here. Um, but luckily, I got used to that. It's getting easier, definitely easier. I wouldn't like bite into anything hard, like with my front chompers, and I try to use like this as much as I can, but it's getting easier. Um, anyway, I was like eating with these in, and I didn't like. Well, he told me to like rinse my mouth like with red water, just kind of squish it, spit it, try to clean them out, which I did. And at the end of the day, I went to go take them out, and it was so gross. Like, the food snuck in here, so it's like in all up here and all in here. I almost puked because like it didn't like taste bad. It still tastes like regular food, but it was just the thought of it. Like, dude, I eat that like 8 hours ago and it's been in my mouth the whole time. So every time I eat, I definitely make it a point to take these out and wash them off and wash my mouth out. So um, I don't know. I just love them so much. One thing I'm a little sad about is, again, the fatness of my lip, and it's still pretty swollen. I don't even know if it is swollen, because, like, right now it doesn't look too horrible, except for it's really droopy on this side. Looks really long, too, doesn't it? But, I really wish that, okay, for the majority of my life, or a lot, quite, like, okay, last 10 years, teeth are jacked up over here. No. Yeah, last 10 years. Started getting black and gross over here and falling out. I was happy. I'm like, okay, so before that, I'm like, I have a big fat lip and I wish it was smaller. But, I was like, hey, whatever, thank you, God. That big fat lip is covering my embarrassing teeth, but like, I don't have embarrassing teeth anymore. I'm proud of my teeth. So one thing I really, 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 really want is the lipo here to make it the same thickness so I can smile and talk better. Like, it's so thick, I really don't have, like, I can move it, and sometimes I try to do mouth exercises to get it loosened up. Not working. I can move it, but it's hard, like, to actually smile, and I don't know, just the thickness of it, it looks ridiculous. So, um, I'm really hoping to get this fixed soon. Like, if I had any choice, that's what I would want to be done. But yeah, these are just really easy to put in. boom. But aren't they cute? I have teeth, and what if they're just like, ah? I don't know. I just keep smiling really big lately because I'm so happy I have teeth. And I don't know. I was a little bit bummed out the other day because I sat and talked with the person like all day. This happened like 3 times. You had to feel bad if it was you. It's whatever. But I was talking with them like all day, and they're like, "Oh, didn't you get your teeth yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, they're in there. It's just this big like honking lip right here, like it's covering it." But I hope that that'll change, and I've come to realize that sometimes things don't happen exactly when you want them to, but if you give it time, it'll happen. So, looking forward to that. Um, mm, 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 mm. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Randy. Houska Dental. Highly recommend those guys. They're amazing. Um, yeah, he's kind of. And I was thinking, I listened to Randy Houska's podcast on the way home, and I whistle with these things too. That's the only really thing that I'm like a little embarrassed about, but maybe not. I listened to Randy Houska's. He was on a podcast. I think if I remember right, it was from Texas, and I didn't realize that he'd been a dentist for that long. Like he went to college and then he got out and immediately like opened a dental place, and that's a long time to do something. That's really cool. Like he's obviously has a ton of experience, and I love that when he was on there, he was like, you got to be real with your patients, and if it's bad, you got to tell them and tell them their options, and just always be upfront and be honest. And I really like that because I feel like some people, even like people that I work with, don't want to tell me like when things are bad. They want to like mask things because they don't want me to worry. But I would rather people be like completely upfront with me. But be like, this isn't what you thought it was or what we thought it was. But um, don't worry, these are the options that we have. And I really appreciate that kind of professionalism. So um, and he's been doing like the same thing for so many years. Like what do you say, like 20 something years? I might be wrong, but that's a long time to do something. And I don't know if he gets bored or whatever. Like I think I heard him say he wanted to do like implants and stuff, probably because it was something a bit different. But I just think that's such. Like, do you have any idea how many people's lives you've made a difference in? And people might not notice it if they're just going there to get a simple like cavity filled. They're just like, oh, I got a cavity filled. But imagine if like you weren't there to do all those things. Like it's scary how fast if you don't take care of your teeth, they could just fall apart and your smile's completely broken, and along with your confidence, and your teeth are such a big deal. Like it affects your smile, the way you talk, the way you like carry yourself, the way you carry your smile, um, the way you eat. Like if you ever get tooth pain is the absolute worst. Like I have a big spot in my heart for people who have toothaches and stuff. Like that is some serious crap. But you just made such a big difference in everybody's life, whether they know it or not. And so thank you because you have definitely made like the biggest, most positive change in my life, and I literally could never, ever, ever thank you enough for that. I'm forever grateful for your kindness. You're a really, really good guy. I mean that. Yeah, Randy, this is the flipper, and I will have this for about 6 months until my gums all heal, and then I will get the next step up, which is like a it's like a permanent partial denture. And the difference between that, like you showed me one, it was made out of metal and not, what is this, acrylic or something? It's made out of metal, and like I said, this one's not very close to my gums. It gives it a lot of healing room and stuff. So that one is right on my gums, and it's really thin. So while I got used to talking with this big old bulky thing, I'll have to get used to talking with a different thing in about 6 months, which is totally fine because it seems better, obviously. Maybe that one won't whistle so much. I don't know if it needs like a little gap here so the air can go through and it's not whistling. And I can whistle louder than I ever could before. Still not loud. That's pathetic. I should have never even showed you that. Yeah, you're like, great story. You can't even whistle. That's impressive to me. So whatever. Anyway, I wish I knew how to edit. I would edit that pathetic whistle out. But anyway, yeah, 6 months, a new permanent partial denture for the top, and then uh, I'm hoping to get implants, which would be so great. I it's been such a pain in the ass to, like, for years. I'm the slowest eater in general, and plus when all my teeth start coming out, it's just like chewing takes so long for me. But it would be so great to have like a full set of teeth on bottom with the implants, and then if it's possible, any on top. That's definitely not a for sure thing right now. I don't know how that would work if it did, or if it even is going to work, but it's a possibility, and I guess either way, I'm not, freaking out about it. Whatever happens, happens, and whatever don't. So, but it'll be awesome to see how it all plays out, and I'm just happy in general that I have these. And I did see a video online about a person getting implants, and it was pretty brutal. Like, if you haven't seen that, you should go check it out, like on YouTube. A full like implant video, dental implant video. Unless you're gonna get implants, and don't look at it because it's kind of scary. I wish I didn't look at it, but I keep looking at it now that I know it's there. Yeah, that is like a huge update, and I'm just so grateful, so proud. Obviously, I probably talked about this for like 45 minutes now. Next thing, I've been. Oh yeah. So I got a 3-month break from the people in New York. I tried to set my surgery already, and they were like, "You need to calm down and just give it a little break and enjoy your 3-month break or whatever." And I was like, okay. But I don't know what they're gonna do next time. But if it was up to me, which I'm gonna try my damnedest to talk to Dr. Waiter and see what he thinks I should do next, and then tell him what I wish they would do next, unless he's smarter than me and has a better idea, which is probably so. But really, I just want this, like, cause again, this fatty piece, or this skin flap, whatever, like, I had a tissue expander here, and so they just pulled it up. So however fat the skin was over here is now this fat up here, so they don't match. Thin, thick. And I really want, more than anything, this to be thinned out so it matches over here. Like, it's tiny, like I can feel each tooth right here. And this is so big. I just want to fix this little pointy tooth. Whatever. We can deal with that. This feels really goofy. Long, goofy. But I really want this fixed. And I want it lifted. I'm really, I don't know if I want anything done to my actual lip because I'm so afraid of it growing because I know it does that. And one time it grew and it was literally like out to here. You couldn't even see my bottom lip. So I'm really afraid of my AVM growing in my lips. So I mostly just want the skin, the fat taken out and then like a lift so that it's like, you know, obviously like that. My smile definitely, my lip has always been a little bit bigger, but not that big. And before when I smiled, I felt like you could see it more in my teeth. So, if anything, like, if everything of my AVM would just stay the way it was and I could get that fixed, I think I'd be pretty damn happy. But anyway, that's the 3-month thing, hopefully, whatever he wants to do. And after that, like I said, I would be so happy for a while if they could just do that and if that went well. But I am noticing that, oh, you can really see it now. See this lump right here? Right here. Wow, that's crazy. Right here. And it's poofing up. It was way more open before. And when I felt it, it was like pure together. And it feels like it's coming up from the bottom. Wow, it smells so bad that was. The last couple days, and especially in the last week and a half, I've noticed I've felt a lot of activity in there, and I know it's that growing. The AVM is definitely growing back. They just cut most of it out and pushed my nose back last surgery. So every time, sometimes when they cut into it, it can like aggravate it. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So I guess I just get scared because you never know how big or how horrible it's going to grow or like what they're going to be able to do about it. I've seen people who have regular looking beautiful faces and then within a couple months AVM is like literally taking over their face, and it's just scary how fast things like that can happen and you never really know what to expect. So definitely out of everything, my health is the most important thing ever. So if anything, like if my AVM could just not grow again, I would be the happiest person ever. But I know it's growing in there. And Dr. Weiner did say like in a year, if everything went good, he would want to give me another angiogram because I haven't had one in over a year, and that is to see where all my AVM is. It kind of gives them like a full map of, thank you, it gives them a full map of where my AVM is and like what it's going into or what it's disturbing. And they'll have the one from last year and then this year. And you know, like whatever they blocked out before, it can now be opened because AVMs have the tendency of, even though you block off, you know, their pathway, they'll go and like break through another healthy like vessels and just take them over. So I guess it'll be interesting to see what happened from the last time, and hopefully it's nothing too bad or whatever. And his thought from all that was, if my nose was good and it wasn't like in my bone or anything, that hopefully I'll be able to get my nose thinned. It's obviously still pretty wide, so you know, just thinned in this way and like shaped it out more. And I kind of like how little and cute it is. I just wish it was thinner, you know, like my nostrils could be pushed in more. But all of his bone is really thick, like it's really, really thick. So they would go and like, I keep saying chisel all this bone out and like shape it to like what a normal nose would look like. And that sounds painful as hell, but I feel like if I knew it was safe, which my plastic surgeon, Dr. Kosh, is like, he's like the best plastic surgeon ever, I swear. He's such a good person in general. Like, he really listens to you. He won't do it if he has any, you know, worries, and like he is really worried about me having an AVM because he don't normally deal with AVMs, so that has been like a scare for him. But so I know if it's not possible that he won't do it, or if there's too many risks, he won't do it. But I feel like if he was able to do it, I would not be afraid really, because he would only proceed if it was like safe enough. And I definitely trust him to give me a good looking nose. Like, this is from like, the one surgery that he did, and I guess Dr. Wiener's messed with it quite a bit, but he did a great job, and he didn't ever get to thin it out like he originally planned. Like, there was supposed to be three stages of my nose. The first one was essentially what he did. Um, the second one should have been thinning it out, but the AVM and the staph infection was started to grow like immediately after that, so he didn't want to touch it because he didn't want to hurt me, which is understandable. And the third one was I had that big like hole in my forehead, and somehow he just like literally I still have no idea how the hell he did that. It's literally he left me with this scar, and I don't know if you remember before, but it was all pink, 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 all in here. And somehow at a tissue expander here, they cut off all that pink stuff and then rotated this here. And I just have that. Like, it blows my mind. I don't know how he did it, but amazing. So that could be something coming for the future. Um, I'm just thinking of that in general. I have the tendency, obviously, to like worry about money. I'm not worried about like fully the surgery cost of it. It's just travel and like um, hotels and Airbnb. Like, you never know what you're gonna find or how much it's gonna cost you. Like, that part's the part that kills me the most. And it's crazy to think that I have so many left, like X amount or XX amount. I don't know how many surgeries I have left, and it's just crazy to think that I have to keep figuring it out. So, but so far, I feel like God has just paved me a way, and even like if I don't know how things are gonna happen, um, these beautiful things happen at like the exact moment that I need them to. It's just amazing how it all works out. Like, God is so good. And I know He says not to worry, so I'm just trying to always do my best at that. It feels kind of crazy not to worry about something, but I just kind of put it in His hands, and I feel like He wouldn't lead me this far, or He wouldn't bring me this far just to like, stop it. And so that's that. God is good. So good. Yeah, other than that, lately I've just, I have a 3-month break, so I'm trying to enjoy my time at home, but I've been really busy lately, like with the dentist things. Like, first, I live in Huron, so I have to go to Sioux Falls, and that's 2 hours away, and then Vermilion, where my dentist is, Randy, is an hour away from that. But I was already going to Sioux Falls anyway because I really like what I thought was a strict dress code thing that I was trying to shop for. And my mom, and Matthew too, thank you, Matthew, he's the best man shopper in the world. My mom is like the best trooper shopper in the world. I don't know if you guys know, but my mom has a prosthetic leg. Her left leg, from like quite a few inches above her knee down, is gone. In 2013, she was riding her Harley home from work, her motorcycle home from work, and she only got 2 blocks away from where she worked at. And she was right in front of the Flying J in Sioux Falls, and she was hit by an 18-wheeler semi. So, like, she is so lucky just to be alive. Like, it is a miracle that she is alive. And she was in the hospital for a while and did quite a few, therapy treatments to learn how to walk and stuff. But like, I didn't know how my mom's gonna handle it all. Like, you never know how anybody's gonna handle anything, medically or whatever. Like, they can go into a deep depression and hate everything, or they can like make the most of it. And she definitely made the most of it. Um, she handles it all so well. And I know it's hard for her, and her life has changed so much from it, but she never complains. Like, it's crazy for me to think about how my mom was just always used to be this active person. She never sat down. She was like the hardest worker. Never watched, like, even barely seen her at all sit on the couch or watch TV or do anything. Always on her feet, always cleaning, always doing something. And, it changed her a lot, her abilities of what she could do, but it also changed her mind, and I think it healed her a lot and helped her see what was important, and she's really just blossomed into this great person, and I'm really proud of her, and I'm really thankful that she's here. But I know if you've ever tried to stand on, like, we most of us are blessed with 2 legs, and if you've ever noticed when you're just standing there, you kind of shift your weight from one foot to another when you get tired. And I just think of my mom having that one leg that she can shift her weight to, and your leg gets tired really fast. And obviously for her, carrying that 20-pound leg around on her stump or whatever, like, that's a lot of work. And for 8 days, she literally walked into every boutique that we could find in Sioux Falls and throughout the mall twice. And like, we went to Brandon. We went to so many stores all day for these 8 days that I had to go up there and try to find like these outfits that I liked. And she's such a trooper. Like, she literally walked everywhere with me, and she, stayed really positive. And she's like, next store will be the next store. We're gonna find your outfit. Or, like, I just thought that was awesome. So thank you, Mom, if you watch this, for running around with me. I know it wasn't easy, and I think you're a badass. Thank you. It was a lot of fun getting to spend time with her because we live in different towns, so obviously I just can't go see her when I want, and we both have time, whatever. And so it was fun getting to spend that time with her. We had a lot of fun together. Yeah, I leave here tomorrow, and I'm gonna go back up with my mom, stay the night there, and we leave Thursday to go to LA. And I can't really say a whole lot about it. Like, if you remember, I talked about it before, but I had to delete it. I was like forced to delete it. So if you remember, you remember. If not, I'll tell you as soon as I can. But I have to film that Friday the 13th. We'll be filming up there in Hollywood, and then we get to come back the day after. So excited to finish up on that and see how that all pans out. I'll definitely fill you guys in with more details when I'm able to. And yeah, besides that, the doctor has called me back again. The show was on Fox, or I don't know which channel it's on. I don't have cable. But the doctor's like television show, they called me back again for the third time. So hopefully this time it goes through. The first time I was signed with Barcroft Media, and they wanted too much money to let me go on the doctors, and so I wasn't able to do that because the season ended and we couldn't figure anything out together, which I was really sad about. They kind of wanted Dr. Wainer even to come on that show from New York, so I thought that would have been really cool because he's like the best AVM doctor ever. He's amazing, and I thought that would just be really awesome for him too. And then the second time, somebody contacted me, but since I told them I had already talked to somebody from the doctor's show, they said they couldn't interfere with like their work or whatever, which I didn't understand because I wasn't talking to them anymore. But that kind of fell off there. But they just got into contact with me again, so hopefully that comes out of something. My grandma watches that a lot at home, and I think that would just be cool in general for her because they give her something to look forward to, and she's just so sweet. I love her so much. my grandma Mavis. She's the one that found Dr. Weiner for me, so I think it'd be cool if all these years later she could see that. That'd really make her smile. Um, I also got another like hit or whatever from this other show, but I think I should talk to doctors about that first before I tell you about that. Um, oh yeah, I had a friend come over the other day, a new friend, Brandy Kruger. I met her a couple weeks ago at a benefit, and she was telling me about this amazing makeup that literally like covers everything. And she wanted to come over and do a makeover on me yesterday, so she did, and it turned out great. And well, I guess I put this on a really long time ago. It's like late now, but it covered up everything. I feel like I've been rubbing it a lot, and that's probably why. Oh yeah, before I went this, I was totally rubbing on my face, so I'm pretty sure that's why it came off. But it had the best coverage. And my new nose, that's a year and a half old, so maybe it's not new, it runs all the time. So I'm always constantly wiping my nose. That's why it didn't hold through here. But it did have the best coverage, and it was so light, and it's like an all-natural product. And she was writing like the company to try to figure something out for me, so I guess I'm gonna wait to tell you guys about that. But if it goes through, or even if it doesn't go through, I'd like to make a video on here to kind of show you guys the amount of coverage it does, and then, you know, catch up every like 2-3 hours or whatever, and update it to see like how well it stays throughout the day. It was really rubbing my face, so I know that this isn't staying too well today, but I feel like if I didn't really touch it, it would be a lot better. But I'm excited because I know like some of you have, you know, told me that you're like, you know, a little shy about your acne or scars or whatever. So I feel like it's always important, and that's something I am learning every single day. It's important to love yourself just the way you are, like 100%. You're beautiful in your own skin. You don't need any makeup or coverage or anything. Like, you are beautiful, and we all have to learn to love ourselves for exactly who we are. We're never going to be happy. But just being girls in general and liking makeup like we do, it's nice to have that option if we want it. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys, hopefully soon. And I guess other than that, everything's going good with my family at home. My husband's doing great, and I'm proud of him. He's becoming such an amazing person. He always has been, but like, he's great. Very in touch with himself, in touch with God, with his family. He's a wonderful person. My children are doing great. They're in first and second grade now, Marlena and Kaya, and they're killing it. Marlena is just like so friendly with everybody, and she kicks butt on all her work. She's such a smart little girl, and she loves everybody, so just so sweet. And Kaya's like a funny little weirdo, and she's so sweet too, and she loves doing good in school. And she just got spelling words, and she's aced every one of her tests, so I'm just so happy and proud of them that they're doing good, and that they're nice to everybody at school, and they're such good little kids. Happy to be their mom, happy to be his wife, and happy for my entire family, really. Mom, dad, sisters, brother, aunts, uncles, grandma, grandpa, everybody. In-laws. I really love this life that we live. I hope you guys do too. I know that everything's not always perfect all the time, and it never will be, but you just gotta enjoy all of it, because no matter what, nothing's gonna be perfect. And it's always gonna be beautiful, though. There's always good to see in everything. There's always beauty to see in everything. And there's a ton of beauty in you, whether you see it or not. I know it's really easy for our minds to get like clouded with all like the everyday nonsense and the negative things people hold on to because everyone's just kind of emotionally damaged and hurt and says bad things and gossips and stuff, and it's really hard not to because it's such a common thing. But I wrote this book about healing our emotional damages and like forgiving everybody and forgiving ourselves and loving us just the way we are. That accepting, and it really made me think a lot. I'm gonna have to get the name of that book and write it below. I highly suggest you guys check it out. If what the heck was it? If you've ever read the 4 Agreements or the 5 Agreements, which is a great book, it's from that same author. It's called like The Mastery of Love, I believe. And it's not just about like relationship love. It's about loving yourself, loving your neighbor, loving a stranger, loving your everybody, family and relationships, so that when all of those things are healed, when you are healed, then all of them seem to connect better. Yay. I'm babbling and my dinner's done, so I'm gonna go eat. This is the longest update yet. I need to make them sooner so they're like shorter and not dragging you on. But I really do love you guys, and I hope you guys are all doing well. And again, if you're able to share my GoFundMe, I would appreciate that so very much. www.gofundme.com/Jennifer Hiles. I thank all you guys for all your support and all your love and all your prayers and positive thinking to help me get to where I am. I feel like I've touched like such a big milestone that I never thought in a million years that I didn't even think it was reachable. So I'm just so grateful to have these teeth and have all these moments and to have gotten through the hard times, no matter how hard they were. And even though I said I gave up, I'm happy that, that time of defeat, what felt like defeat, just went away and I was able to keep pushing on through. And I hope that, when you guys see my story, you see that, there is a lot of pain and a lot of struggles, and, there's a million reasons for me to just lay down and cry and feel defeated. But there's also like a million and one reasons to smile. And even when it's hard, that things do get better and that the hard times don't last forever. So don't give up. And when you keep things to yourself and you don't, share your feelings or share your problems or share whatever, and you're just keeping things inside and you like feel helpless, I don't feel like that's a good spot to be, because you never know like what can happen if you reach out and tell people things, or like who you're going to be able to relate with and how they're like you just sharing that with somebody can help you. Because I know what it's like to feel like you're the only one going through something and nobody else can understand, because I went through that for a long time. And now thankfully there's like the internet and I can reach out to all these other people around the world that are dealing with some of the same things I feel, and it really does make a difference to not hold things in and just kind of be more open. And just know that like whatever you're going through, whatever your problem is, there are so many people out there and you're not the only one. And things do get better. And that's another good thing to reach out and see, because you'll see people that have already went through some of these things and have gotten better, and it'll give you hope and give you faith. And it's just, nothing's ever like as bad as we feel like it is, especially when we're actively, talking about it and reaching out for help. And prayers definitely take you a long ways. I believe they do. Pray, pray, pray. God's listening, even if you feel like He's not, He's there. And even sometimes I know I feel like He can't hear me or something, but I feel like He's just testing my faith, and I feel like it's important that even when we feel like we're talking to ourselves or He's not around or not near you, that we remember that He is. And um, it's important to always keep that faith no matter what. Um, like I literally feel like it's a test. And once you realize that, you just kind of laugh and be like, oh, you almost got me, but I know you're there. And you just stay positive. Staying positive is really, really important. And I know it's really hard sometimes, but we can just be aware of that and pull ourselves out of it. I mean, none of us are ever going to be perfect, but we can just be aware of things and try our best. And if you're in a dark spot and it feels like it's raining and everything's really blue and yucky, just hold on. And you just gotta know it won't last forever, and that your mind is really powerful. So try and switch around your thoughts. Even try to fake it till you make it. Sometimes, I guess, is a good way to put it. But don't always try to fake it. Be real with your feelings too. Make sure you're feeling them. Just don't try not to get stuck. Remember, you're not alone. Life can be really hard, but it's super worth it. And I just thank you guys for being a part of my support system. It really, really means a lot. And I hope to make another video soon so it's not 1 hour and 52 minutes long. But I hope you guys have a good night, and I love you all. You're all beautiful. You're all perfect just the way you are, and God bless you.